For most of the 20th century, the baseline assumption was that a company was a passive victim of its environment. If the industry was growing, you succeeded. If the market turned, you were swept away. This view was defined in the 1930s and 50s by Harvard economists Edward Mason and Joseph Bain. They wanted a way to map the specific forces that dictated a company's limits. Their model was built for the US government, not for business leaders. It was designed to monitor markets and provide a basis for antitrust policy against monopolies. Because it was a regulatory tool, it didn't leave much room for strategy. Businesses were treated as rigid outcomes of their surroundings, with no real power to change the rules of the game. The original framework followed a strict linear chain: structure, conduct, and performance. It starts with structure, the fixed industry environment and entry barriers. Structure dictates conduct, how producers behave and set prices. Finally, behavior results in performance, the actual profit generated. The flaw here is the direction of the flow. If the influence only moves to the right, a business is permanently trapped by the starting conditions of its industry. To survive in a competitive market, strategists needed to find a way to reverse that flow and turn the market environment into something they could actually influence. In the 1980s, McKinsey and researchers like Michael Porter repurposed this government tool for corporate strategy, shifting the focus from regulation to competition. Their core insight was that the relationship between these three elements is a two-way street. They added a dynamic element. The arrows now flow backward, creating a continuous feedback loop. A massive price drop, for example, reaches past the quarterly profit statement. This conduct reshapes the industry structure by creating new barriers to entry. This pivot means a company is no longer a victim. Through its own conduct, a business can rewrite the very rules that govern its industry. The loop is frequently interrupted by external shocks. These are unpredictable events, like a global pandemic or a sudden technological leap, that appear from outside the system. Unlike internal strategic moves, these shocks strike structure, conduct, and performance at the exact same time. This simultaneous impact puts the feedback loop into overdrive, forcing a company to react to changes on every front simultaneously. In an era defined by these shocks, a static strategy is a liability. Survival requires a dynamic system designed to handle constant disruption. Today, top businesses use this dynamic loop to map out potential futures before committing their resources. This is scenario planning. Strategists simulate how a change in their own conduct will ripple backward to alter the industry structure. By running these simulations, a company can anticipate competitor reactions and estimate performance outcomes before the first move is even made. This framework has proven itself over decades, guiding strategy for everything from heavy industrial manufacturing to the fastest-moving tech sectors. The enduring power of the SCP framework is its ability to turn strategy into a system of calculated influence. While external shocks remain unpredictable, the model gives companies a way to understand and leverage their own actions.